Hello and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for co-op news, reviews, and playthroughs. Today, I'm Peter, and today we're playing through Skytear Horde. What's up, Terence?
How's it going? Not Friday, much earlier
Much
in the
earlier.
morning.
It's Sunday on
Yeah.
Easter Sunday. Yes, well, we kept the 10 o'clock time slot. It's just 10 a.m., not 10 p.m., Terence. That's all. So for those of you who don't know, Terence and I usually stream Marvel Champions, although we're changing it to lots of card games, including Skytear Hordes on Friday nights. So if you're a card game player, if you like these kinds of games, come check us out every Friday night on One Stop Co-op Shop streamed. So there's our plug. Plug out of the way. So Terence, you want to talk a little bit about what Skytear Horde is, or do you want me to cover the basics here?
Yeah, Skytear Horde is a tower defense, I guess, card battler, where you kind of see on the board you have these 6 lanes, which is one of the things that makes it pretty unique. And you'll be essentially playing allies and stuff into lanes and then battling minions, which are unique, as well as monsters. And then there's a portal that you're trying to defeat, and then when you get to the second stage of that portal, this outsider will come in, and you have to, for most of them, you have to defeat 2 stages of the outsider. So that's this card over here, and once you defeat both of those outsiders, you win the game.
Yep,
And
that's it.
yeah,
I mean, it's basically a lane battler, boss battler, card game, lots of things. There's lots of unique mechanisms in this one, though, as you'll see. Well, one of the first things you'll see, there's a lot of different types of cards here. And that is true in the game. You're going to get, well, the starter box, you get 3 different factions. There's a 4th one in here that came with an expansion. So you're going to get 3 different factions. You're going to get all these different castles over here, and the castles kind of are what you are defending, so they all have 20 life, but they'll do different things. We're going to use 2 of the 4 factions. We're going to use the yellow faction, which is I don't even know, but it's like very magic themed. It's very, I don't know, what would you say? Not Aztec inspired. I don't even, like Arabian inspired? Well, I don't know. This is
I don't know. It has like gladiators, like
has a lot of
phalanxes and stuff.
gladiators too. Yeah. I mean, usually they're so red is very attack oriented, but it's clearly Asian inspired. This is blue is very Norse inspired and has like shapeshifters, things like that. Green is what, nature inspired, and
Yeah, like dryads.
dryads and tribal warriors. So these are the Aztecs. That's right. This is more like Aztec inspired.
Yeah, each of them
Nature.
actually have two different, I guess, like tribes in each of the factions. So you get the dryads and the tribesmen in this one, and then you get the shapeshifters as well as there's another. Why does it just give me shapeshifters? Royal guards
Gotcha.
is the other trait. So each of them have kind of 2 different ones. And this yellow faction here, I think it's the Nupton. Oh yeah, so I guess this game is actually based off of Skytear, the MOBA, which from the same company, which is a mass online battle arena similar to like your League of Legends, Dota, games like that in the video game space. If you're not familiar, I think in the board game space there's like Cloudspire, and there might be another board game as well, but I'm not super familiar with the board games in this space.
So Steve Kingsley says, "Are you not entertained?" He's always glad to see gladiators. So yep, we'll be playing with the yellow faction, which is magic and gladiator inspired. All right, so let's pick a castle. So we can pick between the factions we're using. So we're using the yellow faction and the green faction. We could pick one of these 4 castles. This one. So they all give you 20 health, but they also give you a special power. Exhaust and pay a mana. An ally gains +1 attack for the remainder of the turn. Then another ally gains +1 armor. That's pretty good. Attack and armor, we'll explain what all that means later. Exhaust and pay a mana. Choose 1. Either draw a card or rebuild 2, which is basically putting cards back in your deck. You'll see why that's important in a minute. Exhaust, pay a mana. An ally gains mutiform 1. Oh, so they just get a +1 counter.
Yeah, the difference is this one's permanent, right? Like it's just a
Yeah.
token that stays on forever.
Yeah, which is different than this, which is like for one turn you get a little bit of a boost. And this one is choose one, draw a card, or Gorilla 1, which is removing something from a minion. I'm okay with any of those four. They all seem pretty good to me. Why don't you pick one?
I say let's do ones that don't have card draw, because I think those are the default castles most people will see or
Okay.
try when you start.
Yeah, no, that's true,
So
and
do you, do you,
and
do you want
probably
the
should.
temporary or you want the mutiform?
I mean, let's do the mutiform. Let's go for it. Let's try to buff up our not so temporary. All right. So what you're gonna do is, at least when you first start out, you're gonna just grab a deck based on your color, and start with those 40 cards. Later on, there is deck building. I don't think it's probably on the back of these castles. Oh, it is. So each castle tells you. So let's actually grab the other green castle because this is kind of interesting, for me at least anyway. And it'll become more interesting as more expansions come out. But like on the back, you have deck building rules for the castle. So you have to use a specific hero when you use this one, and you can choose any other 39 cards, including any Dryad. So you choose.
Oh yeah, we do have to remove a card from each of these decks actually.
No, we're only at 40. It doesn't have the extra hero. We're not at 41.
Oh.
Yeah, so 39 other cards must include. So bottom line is, you can always use green of any type. Max 2 legendary, max 6 mythic. But then when you get to rare, you can start adding in, and base cards, you can start adding in other factions as well. And then you'll notice over here, it's reversed. So they always have like a major faction they're aligned with and like more of a minor faction, at least so far with the castles that they've come out with. So a little bit limited in the deck building right now, but you could see where in the future, as more cards come out, it's going to be very nifty. One of the other things, again, you see a lot of cards over here. This is the different portals. So it's both single and two-player game. So you'll notice over here, there's a little single-player marker. This has two-player markers over here. And then, what are these on the bottom? I don't even...
Oh, this is for PvP.
Oh, PvP, which...
The versus.
Yeah, so we could just... Here, let's just take care of that right now. This is One Stop Co-op Shop. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about Bruno. But you'll see there's 3 different difficulties. There's the basic difficulty, normal difficulty, and difficult. So this will be 2-player basic difficulty. Is that where we want to start, Terence? Right in the middle?
The normal? Sure.
All right. So
Are we ready? Oh, this is for 1 player.
This is 1 player. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to take these 2 cards, which is gate 1. You'll see at the bottom, the little 1, the little 2. We're going to put these on top of the gate 3, which is always the same, which is basically not much is going to happen at gate 3. Always. But getting there, that you'll see why in a minute. That's a good thing. That not a lot of stuff will be happening on gate 3. All right. So when you pick your gate, you're going to look here, and it says each minion gets a +1. Then these 2 minions specifically get an extra +1. So you notice they have these +1 tokens. This represents their attack and their life, but also they're going to do something called pillaging at the end of the turn. So the more tokens they have on there, the more they're going to pillage. So which 2 get them? O and what? O and R?
Don't.
So these 2 over here.
Yeah.
But beside that, they're all the same. They do have trample, meaning if they do more damage to you than you have life, they'll add extra damage to the castle. Oh, the castle should be here. So that's another thing we got going on. Then, more cards. So you have different outsiders. These bottom ones are all different outsiders that you can play against. We are playing against this first one over here, the Hatebringer. And then up top here, these are all, well, we need the skeleton tokens, potentially. But these are all different decks you can play against. So you can play any boss and any, monster deck, whatever you want to call them. They all have unique symbols in the top corner. But not only that, then there's some basic ones you shuffle in with it. So we're playing against these dudes over here, which...
I think it's Horde, right? For
the Horde?
The game. Yeah.
All right, so let's do it. So we're going to shuffle up the Horde cards there. And then this is actually perfect. Perfect. This is the basic symbol. So you get a basic symbol and a Horde symbol. So you take all the basic cards, and then you pick one of these factions of cards, and you shuffle it in with it. And that's what you're going to go against and that's it for setup, really. You pick a outsider you're going to play against. you pick a deck you want to play against, and then you pick a deck for yourself, you pick a difficulty level, and you get going. All right, so play is going to be explained by these turn phase cards. We're just going to go through it step by step. I think that's the easiest way to learn. What do you think, Terence?
Yeah. I have the setup rules up here that you're going through. The last thing, obviously, is to draw 5 cards in mulligan.
Yep. Card draw in this game is interesting because you don't get a lot of it throughout the course of the game. You're going to get it when you defeat monsters, but you don't just get innate card draw. Oh, and I can't zoom in from here, which is really annoying. Where's my hand of cards? I could zoom in if I'm all the way over here. So what I'm doing is I am not drawing cards here. I am putting them right on the table over here. If you want to do the same, you can. All right, so put a non-epic monster on the table, or on top of the outsider pile. So that means we don't have to deal with them now. We just have to deal with them later and draw a card. That's good once the outsider's out. Do you want me to hold on to Tremor or Strike Terror? Kind of make it a little easier once we get to the outsider phase. Give us a turn of reprieve, but 2 is pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's up to you.
6 is way too expensive. I'm not doing that. Mind control, good, but expensive. We got these 2 fighters here, and we got this. Tower gains 2 life tokens, and the tower gets -1 to return a non-ally card from your discard pile to your hand. Nah, don't need that either at the beginning. I'm going to get rid of these 3. It's a good idea to probably just keep units at the beginning, allies, because you're going to want stuff on the board early on. Spells and stuff you can worry about later on. For your mulligan, you just shuffle it right back into your deck. And you get those cards. Okay, cool. Terrence, you ready to get going?
Yeah.
So they do have this handy dandy reference card, which is awesome. So first thing you do is the refresh phase. You gain mana, and then you ready exhausted cards. We'll talk about readying later, but first thing we'll talk about is gaining mana. Your portal tells you how much mana you gain, so it's different based on your portal. In a 2-player game, we're each going to gain 3 mana. I'm going to be player 1, you're going to be player 2. That's just really for tracking mana. So we both have 3 mana to start the game, and we don't have any cards to refresh, so we're done. Horde cards. So first thing you do is summon Horde cards, and then we'll talk about the rest of it. All right, so summoning Horde cards. At the top here, it's going to tell you how many you summon. At the end of each round, you're going to rotate it, so you'll see we'll get more, and then we'll get a round of rest before it gets back to start summoning again. So we're just going to summon 1 card, so go ahead and Terrence, and take the top card off the deck. I just put it in the lane like Terrence is doing. But this is a spell, so this is not minions. So the Y minions over here get +2 counters on them. So here you go. I can just copy and paste them. Oh, Terrence, you can't though, can you? Let's do this. Let's promote you, Terrence. I officially trust you. And then monsters and the portal gain +1 armor for the remainder of the turn. So they do have armor tokens. What I'll do usually is something like this. I'll put it down here to remind myself that if there are monsters, they're going to get armor. And then the portal over here, I'll give an armor token to as well. But then we just put this to the discard pile. If it was a monster, it would have stayed in the lane. But that was not a monster. That was just a card that boosts the minions. All right, so then we'd resolve new Horde cards. Well, we just did that. We resolved the Horde card that came into play. If there was a second one, we'd draw another one and resolve that. And then we complete all the or compact all the Horde cards. So if we had Horde cards like as we kill stuff along and they're like scattered down the lane, you move them all to the left is all that means, compacting the Horde cards. All right, so Alliance phase. This is where the meat of the game is. We're going to do all of our actions. We can either play cards by spending mana to pay them. We can engage minions, which means take a minion from here and put it in the first available lane, but you do have to have somebody across from them. For that, you can use your exhaust abilities. So if anything says exhaust, you'll exhaust it. In this game, exhausting isn't turning it sideways. You actually pull it from the top to the bottom. Remember, one of the first things you do at the beginning of the phase is unexhaust. One of the other interesting things about exhausting in this game is some games, exhausted allies or whatever can't do anything. Not true in this game. It just means you've used their exhaust ability. Move allies between lanes, you can freely do that, although if you're engaged with a minion, the minion will go right back to where they started, and you'll see why we want to engage minions in a minute, because I'm sure we're going to do that this turn. And then you could discard alliance cards in play, so if you want to get rid of anything you already have in play, you could just do that to create room for something else. All right, Terence. You want to... There's no really going first. We kind of do this simultaneously, but you want to talk people through? I'm sure you've looked at your cards way better than I have. So what you're thinking about doing?
Yeah. So I have a guard pillar, which once you get
Do you want to
three,
move your cards? Can you move your hand over here just so we can see everything? Plus
the
that way
thing
I
where
can...
you said you didn't care that I did that.
Yeah, well, I changed my mind. I want to see what you're talking
Can't you
about.
just move the hand thing up?
You can, but then for whatever reason, you can't zoom in on cards in your hand in this one. All right. So what were you looking at? The guard pillar you were talking about? The bushy dryad? Or no?
Guard pillar
Oh.
is
So this is
a
the
good,
cost
like-
in the upper left. Let's talk about that. So that costs 2. After an ally is destroyed, put the guard pillar, or put that beneath the guard pillar. When the guard pillar has 3 or more allies beneath it, destroy it and return all cards beneath it. Oh.
yeah. So that might be a good, like, it's not a good opening turn play in the sense that you're not moving the board state over, but it could allow us to just. It's honestly kind of nice to be able to just cycle allies, though. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. That way they don't. They're not gone forever. All right. So you also have a stone pillar, which gets 2 tokens, and then it gets rid of 1, but a monster gets -1 life and -1 to their attack for the round. So
That's honestly not terrible either, because it goes through armor.
Yep.
So that could be a good thing to do this turn.
Yep.
Like we could just pull down the Zephylite minions and
Kill them.
Kill it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we could pull down a different minion.
Sacrifice is also pretty good, but it seems like because that also goes through armor. So we could like use the mutagen tower that I have, and you could sacrifice it. Like we could kill.
Well, you could do both, right? You could do this also.
Well, mutagen just gives us more tokens to use. For
Yeah. No, I'm just saying we could do this, and we could do this, and we could pay for one of these 2 cost things, because you do have 3 mana on your first turn.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, it looks like... Oh, well, no, you do have a creature here, though.
I have 2 creatures.
Or allies, I guess they're called.
Yeah, ideally you want the bush dryad to come out before you kill your underwood dryad.
Right, so you can take the tokens off of them?
No, just so when he dies, you get the mutiform too on her.
After Bush Dryad's neighbor is destroyed. Got it. So mutiform, what it means is you're putting tokens. So these tokens are kind of the key, one of the key things in the game. If a token has a plus on it, it means they're plus life. If it the round ones, if it has a minus on it, it means minus a life. So over here, well, it's funny here they say -1 attack and -1 health, but here they show the -1 of each token. But that's just a whatever thing.
Do towers count as neighbors? They do not, right?
I don't think. Why? You thinking you could put tokens on a tower?
No, I'm just reading your card. She gets +1 armor for each neighbor.
Ah. And she is elusive, meaning after she's done whatever she's doing in her lane, she can move 1 to the right, which I have not found to be that useful. I guess if you're at the end of the line.
It's pretty good.
I mean, you're
you
better
can use her
at games
to
than
basically
me,
knock
Terrence.
out potentially multiple in a
I mean,
row
she has
if
1
you
life,
count it
though, right? I mean, I guess.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's where you have mutagen. You can give her another health or whatever, right?
Yeah.
As well, or you have the heroic ally in this one that can armor her first.
Right.
Like he can take the attacks and then.
Yes. So my phalanx isn't very useful right now. Rebuild 2 means you take cards from your alliance deck and put them back on the bottom of your main deck. Which, if you run out of cards, so the 2 loss conditions are we lose our castle, which has 20 life, or we run out of cards. And you'll see these minions up here are going to take away cards every turn. So rebuild basically lets you put cards at the bottom of your deck to kind of stop that from happening. But not very useful right now. The -1 attack is nice. But with 1 life, I don't know. All right, so I'm going to just make the call right here. I'm going to pay 3 to put her into play.
She's gonna die, right?
I mean, unless we give her a token, yes. But
But
yeah,
you could just give her a token to take out like the three, right?
yep, exactly.
In that case, you think I should just go guard pillar and I can spend one to uniform her and we take out the three yet another minion?
What's the mutiform gonna do for her?
Give her 4 attack, so go through the armor
Right, I forgot they had
and the
armor.
three.
Yep, yep. Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
Do you say second to last?
Second to last is good.
I don't know
Yes,
if you have the one that moves the one to the end.
I don't know if that's in this deck either. So what we're talking
Okay.
about are there are things that could potentially affect what happens where the
The one
monsters are.
thing specific about towers is they cannot be moved once played, unlike allies.
Yeah, any other
So
unit in the game can move.
the decision of where the tower goes is actually much more important in that sense.
Although I feel like at the end of next turn, it's probably going to be full and gone. Maybe I'm wrong. All right.
I don't like to chump like you. I can't. You can't do this yet. This is a. It is a treachery phase ability. So we get to trigger it after resolving the treachery.
All right. So because it's got a little lightning bolt next to it, can only happen during the treachery phase. Interesting. I forgot about that. All right. So we're going to pull these minions down.
Yep. So that still happens during the alliance phase.
Yep. So as we're doing this, and again, we could go in any order, doesn't matter. All right, so this, because there are 3 tokens on it, means it's got 3 life, but also if you read this, they gain 1 attack for each life on them. So they also have 3 attack. 3 attack, 3 life. They do have trample also, meaning any extra damage is going to go past my character right onto our castle over here. So that's something else to remember. All right, but we are done with that phase. So we did our alliance phase, which again is going to be the meat and potatoes of the game. We do have a comment from Steve. Let me see if it's important to read. The exhaustion and card drawing rules feel very unique in this game. I like how they explore different patterns than normal. Yeah, for both the exhaustion and card draw. Because again, you don't draw cards in this game unless you defeat monsters over here. So this is an epic monster that we're fighting against. So when we defeat it, we will get 1 card draw, but only one of us will get it. It does not have to be the person that defeated it either. All right, so we're done with the alliance phase. Let's talk about the treachery phase. So resolve the treachery card. So you just draw the top card from the deck. This is, for me, the most unique thing about the game because it makes the enemy not 100% like you know exactly what's going to happen, but at the same time, it gives a little bit of randomness, but it's quick. So this basically says, so they're swords or there'll be a lightning bolt either on the right or the left side. Lightning bolt just means read the bottom, do what it says on the bottom. Sword means you add 1 attack to the either rightmost or leftmost minion. In this case, they're both the same, so they're going to get +1 attack for this turn. Again, whenever I get plus stuff, I always put it down here. Any temporary stuff I put down at the bottom just to remind myself. Did you have something you wanted to throw in, Terence?
I was just gonna say this reminds me a lot of, I guess, like shadow or boost cards and the FG LCGs.
Yep.
But obviously it has to take into account lanes. So I like the determinism of the fact that it's either the left or right that is gonna get boosted. So anything in the middle is generally safe. But we'll see. Because you can't have, like you said, the lightning thing, so they can write any card text there.
Yep. Exactly. Well, and unlike the shadow cards in these other games, and we'll save this for our final thoughts at the end, I guess, for more.
We'll be doing a review too.
A little bit, just a little bit of a review. But bottom line is, it's faster, right? You're not doing 1 card for each enemy in play. You just do 1 card total. And then we get to trigger our effects with lightning bolts. So right here, you can exhaust and pay a mana to add a plus. Now, this is a permanent plus, so instead of putting it below, I would put it right on my character card, just as a reminder. So now I am plus. I assume you're giving me plus attack.
Yeah.
And then to exhaust this card, you tap it, just like you would be expecting to do. All right, so that right there is the treachery phase. So again, first thing we refresh, gain mana, then horde phase, then we do our stuff, our alliance stuff. Horde phase brings out enemies, alliance phase is our phase, treachery phase is just that. Now we're doing fight. So the way fight is, first you always resolve horde fight abilities, then yours, then every lane is going to strike. So you start with this lane and move your way down, and every single lane is going to strike. And
it's simultaneous, like magic.
Yep.
Where, they both attack and receive damage at the same time.
And damage will persist from round to round. Shields are the only thing that refresh at the beginning of each round. But
they only refresh if they have the armor 1 stat. So like this was given by treachery, so this armor will not.
Well, right.
Refresh.
Well, that's why I put it on the bottom, because it's a temporary shield. Yep.
Yeah, and
all right.
It's only and the armor goes away actually.
Yep. That's why I said it's temporary. Just like their plus attack is temporary because it comes from this. That's why, again, anything temporary I put below. I don't think it says that in the rules, but just for my own sanity, I put it below so I remember what to take away at the end of the round. All right, so let's talk about them. They're going to strike us for 3 plus 1 is 4. So let's go ahead and look. We have all of 1 life, so they're going to do 1 to us. And then 3 more to us. But that normally would just sit on our character and kill us. But because they have the ability to trample, it goes right over here onto our castle. So our castle, which had 20 life, is now down to 17 life. And actually, it wouldn't be plus, it would be minus.
I was like, man, you're adding health?
Yes.
I'll play the game like this.
Yes, I get more health as they attack me. So that was their attack against me, so my character is going to be defeated, but I do get to strike first. So we're going to do 4 damage, thanks to Terence. The first damage goes to the shield, and then we remove 1, 2, 3 of their little minion counters. As soon as this card is empty, it goes back to the minion row, and my card's going to go to the discard pile.
Nope, it goes to the guard pillar.
Oh, right. So now we see why the guard pillar is kind of neat.
Just put it below the board.
Yeah. So sure. now we see why the guard pillar is kind of unique, because it's going to hold on to 3 allies and spin them back into our hand in a couple turns. I'm actually pretty good with my cards. Did you want to draw the card, Terence?
Sure.
So Terence gets a new card, and that is almost it for round 1. That is the fight phase. Now we go to the pillage phase. Minions not in the lane, pillage. And then you put minions back. So if you had fought something but didn't kill all the minions, it would still be sitting here, so it would not do this pillage action. So what the pillage is, you count the number of tokens on all minion cards out here. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens. And you are going to discard that many cards. In a multiplayer game, we both discard that many cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, this is a loss condition going through your deck. Now, let me make sure. Did I lose any heroes here? I did not. I lost the unique card or whatever, but and this is only important. Normally, it doesn't matter too much, but remember, I have rebuild, which lets me pick any card from my discard pile and put it on the bottom of my deck, which is nice. But I could also give you the rebuild. It doesn't have to be for me. Okay, so that is the pillage phase. That's it. And again, if minions were in lane, they'd go back. Now the end phase. If gate wasn't destroyed, you rotate it 90 degrees. It does lose its armor. It's going to rotate 90 degrees. So next turn, there are 2 minions going to be coming out, or 2 cards from their deck. And then we go again. And then we discard down to 7 if we had 7, which I've never seen happen. So back to the mana phase. Yep, we both get, again, it's still going to be 3 mana. Then if there were any exhausted cards, we'd move them back up to the top, which there are not. Then we, Horde phase, we're going to summon the Horde cards. So now they get 2. 1, 2. First one, Yeti Forest. The Outsider Portal gains +2 life. So it's the Outsider or the Portal. In this situation, it's the Portal. Gains 2 life. It is going to have a treachery. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It does not have that treachery. Right. Yeah. So that's why the lightning bolt's there. So we ignore the treachery text. So we just do the play text. Let's flip over the next one. It's a howitzer fight. If deep howitzers are not engaged, they deal 3 damage to the castle. So normally they only have 1 attack, but they do 3. They do get armor 1, and that is permanent. So again, I try to keep it on the card as a reminder to myself that they have a permanent armor 1. They're going to regain that every turn. And they have 6 life, which is ouch. All right, Terence. Any thoughts?
I mean, honestly, Storm Phalanx might be really good against this howitzer. Just put it down -1.
Um. Oh,
So it
-1
doesn't basically
attack.
do any damage. Yeah,
Well,
just doesn't do
assuming
any
it doesn't get
damage.
boosted.
Yeah, but this does ready. Like Rampart.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So that unexhausts during the unexhaust cards step. All right. I'll go ahead and pay him for 3. That'll be a nice...
I meant the howitzer.
Well,
right?
yeah.
The
All right.
howlers.
And then at any point I could exhaust 2, and we'll give him -1 attack. Again, I'll put it down here because it's temporary. Now, the other thing is I can now move him. He's exhausted, but that doesn't matter. I can do whatever I want with this. Now, if he's unengaged, he's going to do 3 damage to the castle, so we don't want that. Either him or somebody else should be across from him. But, yeah. So I can do that every turn because we're going to unexhaust every turn. We're going to exhaust again every turn. So, all right. So that's my 3.
Yeah. I wonder if the Dryad is the right call here. The Underwood Dryad.
Just get it in play.
Yeah.
Just get it in play and just don't go across from him. Let him do his 2 damage to our castle, and we'll do 2 to the portal, right?
Well, no, I was going to pull down. I think it's worth pulling down one of the minions.
One of the 1 jobber minions. Don't forget, I do have, whatchamacallit. I do have rebuild, so I'm not as worried about losing from that. Oh, by the way, we never did my rebuild. Do you want to rebuild 2 cards, or you want me to?
Does,
Do you have anything good?
probably just Sacrificer or Scarifer.
Sinkhole's not bad either.
Yeah. It's expensive for 2 costs when you only get
Well, I mean,
3
it's at the bottom of your deck, so the odds of you getting to these are very low. So.
Oh, yeah. I feel like it's better for you, right? Just because you have a way to shuffle.
Okay.
No? Don't you? You have a card that shuffles your deck.
So this fight rebuild, so we'll put that back. And this is the one that lets me shuffle
you want yeah.
So we'll put this one on top. Badink. So you have 2 like epic cards in each deck, so those are always good to put back in, but don't have either of those. Neither of us discarded them, luckily. So yeah. All right. So you played him, so you get Mutiform 2, you get 2 permanent upgrades. What are you putting on? Oh, and that costs you 2.
Yeah. What do you think? +1/+1.
That's fine.
And then I can boost, and I can pull down a 2-for.
Okay. Assuming you don't get bad luck.
That should allow me to kill it, but then at this point your dude's not in the middle, so it's not going to get boosted.
Yep. So I will be safe with my 1 life.
Yep. And you'll just slowly basically whittle away at this
1 a turn. Right? Well, we'll see. We'll see if I sit there in front of him or we put somebody a little stronger in front of him at some point. All right, so now we've got all our lanes taken care of, and we can go on to the next phase. So Alliance phase, as you'll see, will go faster and faster. So Treachery phase next. Flip over the top card. This dude gets boosted by 2. I'm not going to do this every time, but for now, just to show, there's +2 to their attack. Now we fight lane by lane. This one does not have a fight effect. Does 2 damage plus 2 more. Nobody's across from him, so we're going to take 4 damage to our castle. Plink, 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 plink. Remember, one of the lost conditions is losing the castle. The other one is decking. So that's bad for us. This one does have a fight effect. If they're not engaged, they are engaged. I do not have a fight effect, so theirs always go off before ours. I'm going to do 2 damage to them. So that would be 1 damage and then 2 damage to them. They are going to do 0 damage because I gave them -1 attack. And then let's look at this one. This one has 2 damage and 2 attack. So you take 2 damage. So this is unique. Right. So first thing he would do is remove this token. So that's because that's part of his life pool. Because you can never have a positive and a negative on your card at the same time. So that becomes 1 damage, and then the second damage comes over by putting it as a negative. So yeah, in this situation, he could just flip it. So now he has -1 life on his 2 life, so he still has 1 life left over. By the way, if there are any questions or comments, please feel free to send them out there. So 2 damage over here takes care of Padink Padink, both of those, which feels good. So these minions go away, and now we resolve every other lane. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Right?
Well, you get to draw the moment it dies, right?
Yes. So that's right. We did defeat 1. So what do you want to do?
You're down 3, so you can draw.
All right. Oh, and that is a 4-coster, which is not great right now because we're only getting 3 mana a turn. Oh, did you ever spend the 1 to do? I forgot to ask if you wanted to do that. You can do it if you want.
No, I just, since we didn't need it, it means I can put in like tri-borders or something and potentially as an option next turn.
Right, because you do keep your
4-costers.
mana from round to round. That's one of the interesting parts. So you can pay for these like 6-cost cards or whatever else. Cool. Oh, that's right. You want to build up your discard also because Terence has 2 of these cards in his deck that cost 25, -1 for each card in your discard pile. So actually, I don't want to rebuild you until you get those cards out, I think, for the most part. All right, so that's the end of the round. That's the end of the fight phase. Now we're doing the pillage phase. There is 1, 2, 3 tokens out, so we both discard 3 off the top of our deck. That is not my hero. Okay, I was a little worried there. Nope. And nope, not her either. I always get confused because they have the pictures of the heroes in some of these spells. I guess that isn't a picture of a hero. She looks like one of their heroes a little bit in my mind. But I'm probably just crazy. All right, so that is the pillage phase, and then we do end of the round. Gate wasn't destroyed, so we rotate it. Yes, it keeps that +2 health on it. Wonderful. And then we discard down to 7, which we don't have to do. All right, refresh phase. We each get 3 mana. Now, because Terence had 1, he goes up to 4. I just go up to 3, and then we refresh exhausted cards. This is when I remove all these temporary tokens I had on the bottom here. Again, I don't think... Oh, and then refresh armor as well at this point, right? Is that right, Terence? Is that when you refresh it? Yep. All right, so now we summon Horde cards. So it's going to be 2 again. Next turn, we get a little bit of reprieve, though. So 1, 2. But ink. At the end of the... now, there will be something special on some of these cards. We haven't seen it yet. But, here's an example. So this boost card, if that came up as a monster, it would give one of us +1 mana. So just so you know, if you see that symbol, since we haven't covered it yet, I'm sure it'll come up, but maybe not. It doesn't happen every game. So those are just more difficult monsters. They give you a little bit of mana if you draw them. All right. But in this case, they don't have that symbol. Don't worry about these 1s and 2s in the corner. That's just for the competitive game. So at the end of the Horde phase, the weakest ally engages them if possible. The ally engaged with Troll Trekkers cannot be moved or exhausted.
And weakest is by attack strength, if I recall.
Yes.
We're actually tied, so we get to pick.
Yep. So, but let's do this one first. The minion gains +3. The strongest 2 allies gain -1 attack. That's not great. So he gets +3 tokens. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Which one? Oh, Zephyr. Oh, that's not good. Let's put a +3 on him. Yeah, and then we both get -1 attack. Did you already do that?
Yep.
All right, so because you had a token, it just, again, you can never have a positive and negative token. It just took away the token. For me, it gives me a negative token. So, yep, I am -1 attack. So we are both 1 attack still. So, yeah, who do we want to get stuck with this guy? I assume you, so I can keep jobbing that guy? Or,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty. So now we do our alliance phase.
This goes away, right?
Yes, I don't know why. Yep, so this was just a spell, so that goes away. We compact the line, all that stuff, that's all done. Thank goodness we get a reprieve next turn, because it's not looking good for the good guys right now.
Right. What are your thoughts here?
Well, I'm going to exhaust to give him -1 attack. That's kind of a no-brainer. Now, I do not have to stay engaged with them. If we got heavy hitter, like I could put the Restless Phalanx in there to fight him.
Do you want to just take out the Force Daddy?
With the Phalanx? Probably. So I'm going to spend 2, and then I'll have 1 left over to either boost one of us, if need be, or to save it for this ally next turn.
I'm thinking about Brush Dryad, because this guy's definitely dying.
Is the Dryad does what?
Basically, when he dies, I get to Mutiform too.
Yeah, that seems good.
So I could engage, say, these Onakai minions as part of that, and I know I can basically get boost 2 health or 3 health, depending on, or not 2 health or +1 tag or whatever we want to do here, right?
Yeah, so remember the lanes resolve in order. So yeah, Terence can get beefed up by him dying before this lane fight actually happens. All right, and I'm going to spend, I already spent the 2, so I'm going to put them over here. Every time they fight, they get to rebuild 1. Not going to happen, but the one time, but that's okay. Oh, we'll probably fill this up too, by the way. Good news! This will be filled up. After it's destroyed, when Guard Pillar has... So as soon as it gets a 3rd one, this pops. I may even spend here, or one of us might maybe spends here to give this person their attack back. We'll see. Or we beef up like one of these, something that's already going to be pretty beefy.
Yeah, I might do it if we do it here, and I play like Tribes Warriors next turn.
You'd be able to kill it.
It would just die.
What, this?
Yeah, because they just get -1/-1 when they enter play. The thing it's engaged with.
Right. At the end of the horde phase. Oh yeah, because you can't move. Well, you're gonna kill him.
Oh, but I guess it's every horde phase, right?
Yes. So it's gonna keep engaging the weakest one every horde phase.
Yeah.
I mean, so maybe we even give you +1 attack to get it 1 closer to dying, and then hopefully we plink it with something, right? Like plink it with an ability. These guys over here have deal 1 damage to a monster within a lane, so I could plink it with them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you just put it into play, and then...
Yeah, I'd have to put it left of here, which is fine, because then he could do some damage to these cannons finally, too. So if you don't mind letting me save the 1 mana, if we're going to even use this. Are you going to use a 0? Probably not, right? I mean, this is the other way to kill it, too, right?
Yep.
Remove counters to make something -1.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you aren't using it super early, but we'll see.
Saving it for the boss. Are we?
I mean, he only has 3 health. Like 3 tokens is not hard to get when you can generate tokens.
Well, yes. Yep. All right.
You get to circumvent all of his armor.
Yeah. So, do we want to draw the top card? Boom.
Yep.
All right. So that's treachery phase. So this one's going to get +1 attack, temporarily boosted.
He doesn't have trample, so we're good.
Yeah, so remember, any extra damage, trample means goes to the castle, but they don't have trample.
Did you rebuild?
Not yet, it's a fight effect.
Gotcha.
All right, but we are to the fight phase, so let's talk about that. He does his fight effect.
Wait, do we want a mutagen before that?
Oh, yes. So at the end of the phase, do we want a mutagen? We don't need it here. I mean, we could use it here, but whatever. Don't need to. And it wouldn't give us a token, is the negative of putting it here, right? Do you want to pay something that's for next turn or not? That's the real question.
It would be Tribe Warriors.
I mean, do you want to do that? Gorilla 1 is pretty good. Right? When you got a 4 minion over here.
We would plink him down 1.
Each turn. So I think we save it, and we both play our 4-costers next turn, probably.
Okay.
Or at least give us the option, because I can then do a 2-2 and a 2-2 if we need to.
Oh, wait, huh? Well, the other option here is we could tower next turn. So if I mutagen him, we can tower and just kill him using the Stone Pillar.
This turn? Is that what you're talking about? Or next turn you'd kill
Next
it.
turn.
Yeah.
So if we get him down to 1 health, then we can Stone Pillar instead.
Sure, that's fine. So I wouldn't need my 4-coster in that case. All right, I'm good with that.
All right.
So we're not.
So do you want me or you to spend the mana?
Well,
I guess if I'm doing it, I'll spend mine. If I'm going to Stone Tower, I'll do mine.
yeah, if you're doing Stone Tower, you do yours, because that way I have more options next turn. All right, so you gave...
I feel like that's the right play. This guy sucks.
Yes, he does. All right, so let's resolve lane 1. He attacks me for 3. I attack him for 3. We just both die. Oh, but sorry. Let's do this in the right order. Fight effect top, nothing. Rebuild. Fight effect mine is rebuild. I don't know that it much matters. I like a 3/2. Well, that's 4 cost. +2 armor for the remainder of the turn's pretty good. Right? Just, hey,
yeah.
I don't want to die. Although later attack is more important than armor, I feel. But oh wait, why were there 2 there?
They're just underneath the tower. Goes here.
Oh. Right. Sorry. Yep. So that is the second defeated one. Over
Nothing
here, I break their armor with my 1 wimpy measly attack. No fight effects, right? No. All right. So no fight effect here. No fight effect here. So you are gonna do 1/2 damage. And they're gonna do 3 to you, which defeats them.
Just double health, right? I think.
So when this is defeated, so after Bush Dryad's neighbor is destroyed, Mutiform 2. Repeat 2 times. So Mutiform again means get a +1 of either type.
Do you think health is better here? Just keeps Dredger normal stat line.
I would think so.
I guess in theory, it's less. I guess in theory, it's less flexibility for sacrifice or whatever. But
so here we go. There's 3 under here. So you go ahead and discard this, and then we get our cards back to our hand. Right?
Yeah.
Oops.
Oops.
Sorry. My bad. Trying to be helpful. All right. So that was that fight. So now we go over here. No fight effect. No fight effect. So they do 2 to you. You do 2 to them. So you lose your plus tokens. They lose their plus tokens. And as soon as they have 0 tokens left, they go back. All right. So that was our fight phase. By the way, we've shown 0 damage to the tower. We do need to totally destroy the tower.
Do you want card draw? Or should I take it?
Oh, we forgot for the first one too. I don't need it. Why don't you take both? Because I'm very happy with my hand right now.
Well, this 5 cost Kotlik guy.
Yeah, there's your boss, or one of your heroes. Heroic ally, 2 armor. Seems good. Exhausted, pay a mana for the remainder of the turn. Kotlik gains +1 attack for each ally tribesman in your discard pile. Oh my. That will probably...
I have 1.
Yeah,
2.
but... Well, now you can start killing them. Now that you know that... Although, this is very expensive. Well, don't worry. We'll get more in a minute. Oh, there's another ally tribesman. Because pillage phase, we pillage 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, we should have been taking those as we killed the dudes. But that's all right. Don't forget to pillage 4. For the pillage phase, end phase. Sweet bliss.
So sad.
The 0.
Death Grass is so good.
Well, guess what? I can put it at the bottom of your deck. Just let me know when you want
it. I feel like this is why I don't think Rebuild's that great. It's just like it still puts in Narnia. Like I'm never seeing it unless I can shuffle my deck.
Well, the benefit of Rebuild is you don't worry about this as a loss condition, right?
I've never lost to just pillaging though.
Oh, I have.
Like not even close.
I have. I definitely have.
I mean, castle health is a resource, man.
Yeah. All right. So we unexhaust everything.
Yep.
And then, oops, we're back to the beginning. Let's gain our mana. Yay, 4 mana. Summon Horde cards. No, we don't. But we do This -1 attack's not there. They get their armor back. So these all move down. And
Contact happens after you summon. Oh, yeah. We just summoned.
Yeah, we summoned 0. Yeah, so if we had summoned one, they would have gone to this first hole that was there. But because we didn't have to summon, they didn't go there. Yep, there were no new cards to resolve, so now we do our alliance phase. Oh, this is the end of the horde phase, so he engages the... Oh, no. This dude engages the weakest, which is me. But you're going to blow him up, so I don't have to stay there. Right now, it says the ally engaged with him cannot be moved or exhausted.
You do have to stay there, because you can't be moved.
No. Now I do, but as soon as you blow this up, I don't have to be engaged with him anymore. Correct?
Is it because it's a passive?
Right. The ally engaged with them cannot be moved or exhausted, but he won't be engaged with them anymore.
Yeah.
Right? If he's dead, he won't be engaged. You want to go ahead and go?
Sure.
So this tower gets 2+1 tokens. So remember, towers can't be moved. So you can exhaust it. Oh, crap. That happens at a different phase.
What? Yes.
Oh, that can only happen during the... Oh, that is not what I was hoping for. Honestly, maybe we save it then, and I just do this.
Okay.
I mean, you could still put it in play.
I mean, it might not be the right call. Oh.
Yeah, because my fight effect is deal damage to a monster within 1 lane. Now, I could just do it to this stupid howitzer to get rid of that faster.
Tribesman. When monster engage with Tribe Warrior, get -1/-1.
Well, you don't have 4, though.
Striker pack. Just start gorilling.
Yeah, I think that's the call. Because not only gorilling, but it also...
The other option is
we
if
need
you
to start
Stone
whittling
Pillar
this down, right?
Yeah, Stone Pillar might be good to save for Hatebringer as well.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to go away. Oh, actually, Hatebringer does start in this pile, doesn't he?
No, he comes in the pile the moment you blow Portal 2 up. 1 up. Portal 1 up.
Well, he starts in the pile, doesn't he? But
because in theory you have to summon anything that is in the pile during the horde phase.
No. This second one specifically says summon all cards in the outsider pile at the end of the horde phase. It's not an innate thing. That's why I think technically he does start in play. Does that make sense? Or he starts in the pile? And then he doesn't get summoned until... It doesn't matter. We're talking technicalities here. All right, so let's figure out what you're doing. You bring a Stalker pack? Stalker pack's good, man.
Yeah. It just burns up all the mana.
I mean, the other option is to do the Dryad over here and save a mana so you can play your 4-coster next turn, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Or save for Kotlik. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pay 2 costs this turn, 2 costs next turn, and then get Kotlik in play. Gorilla's good, though. Yeah. Hard to pass that up. All right. So, just so you know, because... Well, actually, we're not going to destroy it anyway. So, I was going to say this does just keep rotating and rotating until we defeat it. All right. So, are you done? I can't even exhaust this guy to give them -1 attack.
Neighbors of a card are the cards on the same side. Adjacent lanes. Yeah.
All right, you good?
Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead and boost. Oh, a treachery. All right, deal 1 damage to the castle. So it's on the right side, but it doesn't matter in this situation. Just deal 1 damage to the castle. So that's the treachery for this phase. And let's fight. So he does have a fight effect, which is if he's not engaged, something bad happens. But he has a fight effect, which is going to plink this dude. So that is a defeated minion. Do you want it? You don't want the card draw, right? Or maybe...
It doesn't matter. You can take it.
All right, I'll take it. All right. So that was my fight effect only. So now I take 1 damage. Thankfully, their attack was not boosted. Oops. What am I giving myself +1 attack for? So I take a damage. They take 3 damage. So that's 1. And then we'll make this a -3 counter. Hey! Half dead. Stupid howitzers. Like, killing me over here. All right. So now we do this lane. Because of my -1.
Wait, why is it minus? It's minus. Oh yeah, okay.
Because he had a armor.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'm -1 attack, so I'm only doing 1 damage. No fight effect. I cannot exhaust at this point. The exhaust only happens during my 1 phase. So first damage, and it's not
still
even
above 6 health.
Yes. All right. So next lane we look at. So you get a fight effect, Gorilla 1. So you get to take away any minion counter from any of these, which is awesome. And then do 2 damage. So 1 damage and then 2 damage. And then 2 more damage. So let's get one of these big ol' -3s and say we are half done with this portal. All right, we good?
Yep.
All right, so pillage phase. We each pillage 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's one of my heroic allies. So
yeah, this is the one I wanted.
Well, we will. Whatchamacallit you? We'll. At some point, I will rebuild you 1 with these fight effects. Pretty easy for me. Okay. All right, so we're done. So we rotate this at the end of the round and get our 3 mana. Now it's the minion phase or draw a dude phase, and then we resolve him. Horde phase. We resolve him. Nothing to resolve there. Do you have anybody you want to kill him with? You want to kill him with these guys, or you want to keep them alive?
It's fine.
Or your dryads, I guess. But do you have other guys to boost them up or no? You do have this Underwood Dryad, right? Isn't that what boosts them?
No, it's anyone. Even if one of your dudes dies, I get boosted, but it has to be next to him.
Got it. All right. Well, we're freeform at this point, so I could do this, move him here, do this to exhaust him, to give this dude -1 attack. Then I can move him away wherever we want, move him back in, right? It's pretty freeform with what we do. If you bring the tower in, actually, we could just blow him up between my dude and your tower. If you want to do that. Or I could kill this thing. Because it does have a shield. So that would be the 4 damage needed to kill that.
I can do this and kill him.
And then put the Dryad next to it.
This thing's exhausted.
You are correct. He is exhausted.
Yeah, I think they're talking about making it so it costs you to move.
Well,
like you have to exhaust.
Let's not get into what ifs. I don't know. I mean, right now I like the freeform nature of it, but for now,
I think it just ruins the whole lane mechanic because there isn't really, there's no point. Like it's just like your allies can go anywhere.
Yeah, that makes sense. A good dervish gains 1 armor for each neighbor, and elusive. I mean, that's the other option. Oh no, because that still wouldn't be enough. Do you want? Let me put in a rebuilder.
What? Just for fun?
Well, so you can rebuild your hero, right? You
Yeah,
choose.
like that's the thing is like I think it's such a useless thing because unless you're losing to like I'm not drawing through 17 cards, right? Like
I mean,
that's just not
it depends.
what's
Well, you
happening.
have gorilla, so. Oh, well, you don't have to engage him. That's the thing. See, that's why I like it because you're not forced to engage him. Basically, like, why would you engage it?
Because I can kill it.
I know, but who cares? Like you said, you're not going through 17 cards. Why not just do damage to the portal instead? I guess we're killing that
Because
anyway.
you're already gonna kill it.
Yeah, you're good point.
There's literally no like you have 4 damage on the board that is being
Yeah.
wasted.
Well,
And
I guess you would be taking damage. It was the negative, right? We could save those tokens for something else. If we don't care about the pillage, why do it? Is always my thought process.
for cards.
For cards, oh, that's true. Yeah, every time we kill it, we get to draw a card. Although, I'm good for a while. All right, so we're done.
Yep.
So you're keeping all your mana. Look at you.
That's kind of the point, right?
So he gets +1 attack.
Okay.
So if you want, you can
I will
use
burn
the
one.
tower. Yeah.
Yep.
To give yourself 1 life.
Yep.
All right. So now we go lane by lane. So he does 1 damage to a monster within a lane. He's actually going to just do it to the one across from him. And then I do 3 to him. He does nothing to me. So, yay. Finally got rid of this stupid cannon after 57 turns of dealing with it. And we get a card draw. I'll take the first one. Now, no fight effects here. I get gorilla. You get gorilla 1 here. So you do get to immediately remove 1 from here, right?
Yep.
Even though it's in play, it doesn't say,
No, it's animating.
any minion. So there you go.
And they
You
both
kill
die.
him, he kills you. Do you want to take the card draw this time?
Sure.
And because somebody was killed next to him, he gets 2 tokens of your choice. Just give him +3 temporarily, and then he's gonna get 2 of them gone. Oh no, 3.
I mean,
Wait, did he have this plus still, or did I forget to remove that from a previous?
you forgot to remove it. He doesn't normally have plus.
No. But what was our boost this turn?
Boosts. Oh, boosted him. Yeah.
Yeah, so he does have.
Yeah,
Plus
he
one
has the
attack.
plus, but so it removes all 3. Yeah. But I kill him. That's why I'm mutagen.
Yes, right. So he loses the last 2, so we are done getting pillaged. Well, that's why
Oh,
you
hi,
never
Guard
get
Killer.
lose to pillage, because you always like take care of these. I just leave them sometimes. Don't worry about it. So 3 damage here, 2 more damage, or 1 more damage here from this dude.
Doesn't matter.
Oh wait, fight rebuild 1. So you don't want the card? I'll put my hero on the bottom if you don't want it.
No. I mean, bottom deck is basically meaningless for me, so.
All right. So we're done, right?
Yep.
And we've got mana left over, which is good. All right, so we finally get to the end of a phase where we did defeat the portal. So we go ahead and take those off. We move this away forever. Put it back in the box. Whatever you want to do with it. Now we have a new portal. It says summon all cards in the outsider pile at the end of the horde phase. And it says at the end of the turn, when this portal is destroyed, reveal the next portal in the upright orientation. The next one is a 0/0/0. You only get 2 mana a turn, and you again lose the ability to card draw because you're not having minions in play. But it's also really nice because like you don't have to worry about 2, 3, 2 summon every turn, which is very bad. So we do get 4 mana now a turn though, which is good as long as this portal's out. So that was the end of the end phase. So let's go ahead and ready our characters up and get our mana. So now we get 4. So I'm up to 5 and you're up to 6.
Nice.
That is definitely nice.
Do we draw for killing that minion?
We did not. Do you want to draw or do you want me to draw? I don't care.
Or are you looking for options?
I mean, honestly, I don't even know what I have. I mean, I'm pretty happy because I got a draw 4 card right here. Shuffle your deck, then discard 2 cards from your hand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why rebuild is good, and for you, I don't have the ability to shuffle, so it's
Yeah.
like
So
kind
why
of
don't you
like
draw the? Did you draw the card?
I did not.
Why don't you do that?
You want me to take it?
Yeah, because again, I have a draw 4 cards. Well, I do have to discard 2 or an ally afterward, which is probably going to be an ally, right? All right. So let's get to this. This
Feels bad.
you're gonna lose your dryad.
Yep.
It's fine.
Well, maybe. It depends if you draw treachery.
That's true. All right. So summon the horde cards. We are gonna summon 2. 1, 2. Technically, we do them one at a time, right? And resolve them. There you go.
We did draw treachery.
Nice. Nice for you. So Remini get +3. For the remainder of the turn, after a monster is destroyed, they gain +1 more. So I usually just keep it over here to remind myself. So then this one gets some. Oh, guess what? Now I'm losing him. That is terrible. That is no good. So Okoi get 2 of these things or whatever they're. Move those minions into the leftmost free lane. Them and their neighbors get +1 and +1. Oh, that is fantastic. That worked out. Now, technically, if they weren't engaged, they would just go right back, right? Or no?
What do you mean?
If they were not currently engaged, the minion, would they just go right
I think
back?
they would stay because isn't that what the treachery tells you?
Where did I put it? Oh, up here. No, doesn't say. It says put them in the leftmost free lane.
Yeah, so I think they stay for the round.
Okay. So we have to engage them this round, or we have to have them down this round.
Yeah, that just makes it like an oppressing thing. So you can't just like leave it off the table, I think, for this round.
Well, I mean, it doesn't say they stay in play, right? It definitely does not say that. And the rule of the game is whenever a minion is not engaged, they go back to the thing. So, I mean, maybe it's an oversight, but rules as written, I believe that they would pop back if they weren't engaged. But it doesn't really matter. We'll just keep them engaged. Just to keep it more fun. Right? All right.
Yeah. You also can't, if you're engaged with the minion, you also can't like move lanes or something, right? Isn't that also a rule?
No. The rule is as soon as you disengage them, they go away. Move ally not a tower to another lane without alliance cards. You can also discard alliance cards in play. Key concepts, additional cost. I will say the rulebook in this game is good, not great. Engagement.
It has very mixed reviews on BGG for sure.
The rulebook?
Yeah. Like some people find it decent, some people hate it.
Place an unengaged minion with 1 or more health in the leftmost lane without monsters. You must have an ally in the same lane. Move or play if needed. If the ally leaves the lane during the alliance phase, the minion will immediately return to the back line. Yeah, so I think you can just move. It does not say it has to stay there. I mean, we can keep it engaged if we want. Like, maybe that's why you never lose to pillage, Terence.
Well, I mean, I also have not lost the game yet, so I've done okay.
Yes. All right. So, Portal says summon all cards in the outsider pile at the end of the horde phase. Padink. And this says play. The Hatebringer strikes an ally he is engaged with. Luckily, that's why we were both crying over losing our guys. He's not engaged with anyone. Otherwise, the Hatebringer is not engaged. He strikes the castle. So that's 4 more on our castle.
5.
No. again, I think this is a one-time play effect. You don't keep playing it.
Oh.
Right? It's when he comes in that happens. Right?
Sure.
Because this one says, for the remainder of the turn, this thing happens. Otherwise, it's just a play effect, I believe. But yeah, somebody in the chat or comments tell us if we're wrong, but I believe it's just a play effect. All right, so he didn't strike anybody, but he does have 2 armor. What do we want to do about that, Terence?
How much does he hit for? 4? It's a lot.
He hits for 4 and has 5 life, essentially. I can do 4
But he doesn't have
to
trample
him.
this time.
I can do 4 damage to him. If I do this and just leave them there, I can do 4 damage. So if you can put your tower in or whatever and splash 1 more, or if we give him a token, right, plus attack token, does the same thing.
I can put my tower in.
What's this? Must be attached to the castle. So do you know how this works? At the start of the turn, add 1 mana. Does that either player can get 1 mana?
I assume it is.
All right, I think I'm going to play this, right? Because that's plus 1 mana the rest of the game, which may or may not be that much longer. But I
was just like, isn't that like 2-3 turns max?
Well, but did you read the rest of it? Reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, draw 1, play the other for free. Now, I don't need to play that right now that I think about it. Do you want to set yourself up first? And we'll set up the lanes the way we want.
Trying to think here. Let's see. 15.
I mean, I don't mind getting rid of this dude. He's not useful at this point.
He's not useful.
I mean, he'll get -1 attack to something, right? Like, so there's that. So I could give these guys -1 attack temporarily, for example. Actually, that would get rid of his +1 attack permanent, right?
What?
If he gives him... Actually, it doesn't even say temporarily. I think that would have been a permanent thing.
Yeah, I think it's permanent.
Oh, I've been taking it away every turn, and I've been
Monster engaged with gets -1.
Yeah, that's permanent, I think.
Yep.
Oh, well, I've been doing that wrong. Well, let me exhaust him to get rid of this. Right?
You have to.
Yeah, I swap them and swap back, and yeah, we can do all that, right? I mean, I guess the question is, do I care about that? He's going to kill him anyway. And once he's dead...
Wait. If you swap, though, doesn't he go away, like you said?
Yeah, and then I can just re-bring him down.
But then you bring it back, has to be the leftmost, right?
No, this will be the leftmost. This will be the leftmost. He comes here. Leftmost lane. Right? He takes away this counter. He moves away. He goes back. Re-engage him. So technically this is how it works, if I'm not mistaken. Right? All that makes sense?
Yeah, I forget what they said about leftmost.
There's no reason to do that anyway, though, the more and more I think about it. Because he's going to die. Oh, yeah, overkill. So, yeah. Or trample or whatever. All right, so you good with this setup over here?
So do I just put tower in?
I mean, if you want to kill him...
Wait, am I at 6?
You are at 6. Or are you thinking about putting in... Kotlik?
Kotlik.
For the remainder of the turn, +1 attack for each ally tribesman in your discard pile. I mean, can we burn this? 4, what would he be? +2. Well, he could get up to 4. Yeah, so we could definitely burn. Why don't we burn the gate? Right?
Hatebringer gets +1 attack and trample for the remainder of the turn. 4.
I mean, I think we win next turn if we...
Wait, you killing him this turn?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You do 1 here and then 4.
That's right. No, we need to do 1 more. That's why we needed the tower. Oh, no.
Yeah.
We could just use this. If you have a mana, you could just... We could do that. Although, then you can't do Kotlik's ability, and so we wouldn't burn the gate, probably. Yeah. Oh, no, we still would. Because this guy's getting +2 counters. Yeah, so we could still burn the gate. Even if you give me the +1 attack.
What sacrifice?
Don't forget, I'm also getting 1 more card when I do officially play this. On the board somewhere. Now I can get rid of this jobber. I don't care about him. But...
Yeah, so you do need mutagen, right?
I would need mutagen, yes.
Okay.
Or
I'll do tower.
Really? You're not putting Kotlik in? Well, the tower would be enough also.
Yeah.
It would tower or mutagen, so you don't have to do both. Oh, you're just saving, you're going to do Kotlik next turn?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
No, I don't think we need Kotlik to win.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. So after all that, we do the treachery phase. So this guy's gonna get +1 attack.
Good trample.
Yeah. All right. So first thing we do our fight effects. So my fight effect is plink of damage over here. Oh! Before that, stop. We got a tower in the treachery phase.
Yep.
So that gives him a -1. It doesn't take away armor, right?
Nope.
Bypasses armor. So now I plink armor during the fight phase. I kill him because I do 3, but he also does 1, 2, 3, 4 damage to my 1 life I have left. So that's 3 overkill. Plink, plink, plink. Which is most certainly almost death.
He goes over here.
Oh, it's a minion. Sorry. Yes.
Card draw. Wait, did you even play your free card, dude?
Oh, gosh, no. All right, so hold on. So I get these 2 things. An ally gains +2 armor for the remainder of the turn. That would save 2 life on our castle if we wanted. Or Farsight, exhaust it. Return non-ally card from your discard pile to your hand. Sure, I'll just do that. Draw this. Why don't you get the card draw then? I'll just say I didn't do that last turn. So you're up to 7?
Yep.
Man, this all right. I typically don't do this well, by the way. All right, no fight effect. This one does rebuild 1. You said you don't care about it. Fine, I'll put this one at the bottom of my deck.
Did you shuffle before you did that? Isn't that like... Oh, no, that's not this one.
No.
That's the other card. That's this card, Overflow.
Yep. All right, so that was my fight effect. So now I strike for 3. 1 plus 2 more does defeat them. Oh, this guy should be getting plus tokens, by the way. We defeated 1. This is the second one we're defeating. So yeah, he defeats us. We get a card draw.
Take my
I guess I'll get the card draw since you're full up.
Yep.
Oh, another attached to the castle. Castle gains +1 armor. And all allies gain +1 armor.
Yep.
But this one's defeated. As soon as the outsider is defeated, you put the second outsider in the pile. It doesn't say that at the bottom here, but
it says in the rulebook.
Yeah. So when this guy comes into play, he gains +1 attack and trample for the remainder of the turn, and we do have to survive. And he has 3 armor also, which is just ouch.
Yep.
So you still don't think we need Kotlik?
Nope.
All right. So where are we at? We're done? Oh,
yep.
No. This lane goes off.
Yeah, I hit for 5.
You hit for 5. All right. Out of the 8. Unfortunately, I only hit for 1 more. So that does not defeat the tower, and now we're going to have to face 3 enemies, or 3 enemy cards, which is no bueno. And this goes away. Pillage phase, pillage 5 cards. Getting awful close to the bottom there, Terence.
Yeah, playing with you.
Hey, what are you trying to say there, buddy?
You like the pillage?
Oh, we're not going to be able to engage him. Because it's stupid
engage
tower.
You.
What?
Engage you, the monster?
Yeah, because we're drawing 3.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Terence is just going to get rid of tokens to kill him.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna kill him before he strikes, dude. That's the plan.
Okay. All right. So we're to refresh phase. We get our mana, which is still 4.
7. Nice.
And then
I can play Kotlik.
no. Oh, and do that other thing.
And do the other thing.
Epic monster. Oh, so we get +2. Who do you want to get +2?
For mana?
Yeah.
That's up to you. Are you playing it? I mean, there aren't a lot of spots to play things.
No.
I have twists. I actually have twist allegiance. So we could
take it.
We could have like a monster kill each other. So maybe that's the right call here.
Yeah. I just need 4 to give everybody +1 armor.
We also get the plus. Don't we also get the plus?
Oh, we get
+1
+1 mana here. So there you go. You're all the way.
You're just gonna give it to me. You don't want it.
It's fine. You're all the way at 10, Terence. Boom, boom,
boom.
You
can't go above 10 as a rule.
Yes.
Which in single player, I think is actually easy to get all the way to 10 in the second tower.
Oh, +2. There you go. Now I'm getting mana too. Play. Oki, Yanari, and Ramos get +1.
Yeah.
Look how much Terence cares.
Man, why
you'd be pillaged for 8.
Monsters?
You would lose to pillage if we don't win this turn, and or get rid of some of these this turn. Just saying. Play. 2 different allies get -1 and taunt. Got to be allies and it's got to be different. So he does have to lose one of his tokens. This guy becomes completely useless. You still feeling as confident as you were, Terence?
Yep, because I can still mutagen and nuke him.
All right. So yeah, he's at -2 attack, so he's 0. By the way, you can just discard your own guys. And then the end of the phase, we put him into play. He says play. Hatebringer gains +1 attack and trample, but those are temporary. For the remainder of this turn, he has 3 armor, which is not temporary.
Let's see.
Yeah, for normal people who have to kill stuff, like this is brutal, right? 7 life, 5 with trample, or 6 with trample. I mean, we have the Terence, so there is that.
So let's just start off sacrifice. Give it -2 health. And -2 attack on the Hatebringer. So he's down to 2 health.
So that takes this away, right?
Yeah, and he gets a -1.
So even though it's temporary, it still would take that away first.
Yep.
But again, the reason I put it below
Um,
is just to remember that it's temporary. Oh, like this wouldn't be.
Kotlik. This guy's trample, right?
Wait, I thought you were killing him before we have to deal with it.
No, I'm gonna kill him in treachery phase. Because I can mutagen. Wait, no.
Can you do this?
Oh no. Because you have to mutagen first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, this is treachery phase also, by the way.
Oh, yeah. That was why. Yep. Bring that back. I was like, I remember reading this and mathing it out, and it was okay. Yeah, I can mutagen and then sacrifice.
I don't think these have to be treachery phase, though, right? It's just can be.
They do.
They have to be. Okay.
Because it has that symbol next to it.
Got it.
All right, well, yeah, that was it.
Well, no, you bring in the dryads, dude. Why are you looking at Kotlik? Just bring in dryads. You kill them easy.
No, because the dryads only do mutiform form 2.
Right? So that's
but
4 more counters.
I can already mutiform the bush dryad and kill it.
That's only if something next to him dies.
No, mutiform gives them +1, and I sacrifice for 1.
Well, couldn't we sacrifice these tokens also, by the way? Or is it only safe for
No, I believe it has. I mean, you can, but you can only pick.
Oh no, an ally.
And it's not an ally.
So how is he getting
so
mutiformed?
The tower we have, castle.
Oh, that's only 3 though. He has 4 life.
Yeah, and then you just stone pillar for 1, dead.
Oh, all right. So do we not want to play this out? We'll just.
I mean, you have to survive the turn, man. You still have to deal with these 3 monsters.
All right. So you need me to put a beefcake something in play.
I mean, we can twist allegiance actually because it's not epic, right?
Well, hold on. Here, let's start with this. Boom, boom.
No, he is trampled, dude. You don't want to do that.
No. Then I move him. Don't forget, he does not have to stay there. There, he's gone.
Yeah, let's do this. Twist allegiance. So Stormcaller is going to hit one of its neighbors. Since he is non-epic, I can target him, I believe.
Yeah.
And so he'll strike Lady of the Lake.
So he just strikes it.
Oh, yeah.
They don't strike each other.
Yeah. Actually, this. Do we get to pick this?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Do we get to pick it?
The fight. Move all minions in the back. Oh, I guess. Yeah, we have to deal with all these things. This tower is actually terrible.
Well, I could have used it once last turn. I totally forgot to do that. Let's use it now for sure. I'll give us some plus armor stuff, right?
Well, just in that these 3 lanes are going to be filled with minions.
No, just these 2.
No, because he's going to die before a fight.
Oh, but this tower will just tank for us then.
The tower doesn't tank for anything. It goes past the tower. The towers don't fight.
Well, so we take 1 damage. Who cares?
I assume we get to pick the order.
Yeah.
Prioritize strong space. So actually, no. The crappy thing is this thing's going to be.
We get to pick the order, so we just bring this one and this one down.
No, it says prioritize strongest, so you don't get to pick the order.
Oh, so that guy's going to be here. In front, but your pillar will be gone. That'll be fine.
Yeah, but this is going to do 6 to the castle.
Yeah, it is.
That's game.
Mr. I don't care. Well, no, because we just pull it down ahead of time. Oh, but we have to pull it to the leftmost lane.
Yep.
And you can't do this.
Nope.
All right, Mr.
Well,
Overconfident.
you can pull multiple minions out though. Well, actually, you can't pull one here.
Yeah, you can't because you have to pull the leftmost. All right, Mr. Overconfident.
Let's see.
Because he's going to overkill too, by the way. Let me see if I can give us some armor.
So if I don't do Yeah, so if I do that,
Yeah, I mean, using this health the whole game. Yeah.
wait, didn't you put it had didn't the castle have an armor?
No, not yet. It will if when I play this.
So that gives us 6. So as long
Yes.
as we don't take any trample, if we just take
Those 6.
this,
But how do we stop
okay.
trample damage from this? Attack him for 5. Right?
Yeah.
And this guy tramples too, by the way. Oh, he'll be dead, you said.
He'll be dead.
So what does Kotlik have for life? 3? I mean,
5.
we boost Kotlik up, right? Put Kotlik here.
Yeah, but I feel like I have to wait. How much do I have? I have 7. I feel like I have to play Tribe Warriors though, right?
Why?
To get the Gorilla one, because that drops that down to 5, which then with the armor would not kill us.
I see what you're saying. And I can give your ally plus armor. It's a spell. That's easy.
So if we put Tribe Warriors here,
Yep. I give him armor. I mean, we got to pray.
wait.
We got to.
You're saying if we move free lanes left to right, if we can kill this guy, does that mean this won't activate because the fight has right passed?
Yeah, because the fight wouldn't happen if we could kill
So
him.
if we kill the Great White, we don't have to worry about Gorilla and all that stuff, right?
Wait, no. We have to kill the Lady of the Lake only before her fight effect triggers.
No. But her fight effect. So say we kill Great White, right?
Yeah.
It's gone. This triggers you prioritize left to right to free lanes.
Oh, I see
The
what you're
strongest
saying.
minion goes in the left lane, and we've already passed that. We're moving past it, so we can just ignore that, right?
We've already done that lane.
Yes,
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, because the fight has already moved past it. Yeah.
I think killing Great White is the move then. So Kotlik can kill Great White, right?
Yeah, we'll use this to mark what lane we're fighting in to kind of explain. So yeah, when this triggers, it's going to take the strongest one and move it to the most open lane. As long as this lane has been defeated already, then it won't go backward. It's just going to keep going forward. Yes. Brilliant. Oh, by the way, I exhausted this to grab a card, but I didn't grab it. Oh, did I grab this shielding card? Maybe I grabbed the shielding card. I think I did. It's fine.
Yeah. So Kotlik has armor 2.
Well, hold on. But that's permanent. Wait, that's not plus attack. It's armor, dude.
Yeah. So, and I have to do 6, but I have
You don't
for
have
sure
to kill
more
it.
than 2
Oh,
tribes.
you do have to kill it. I got you.
Yeah. So I will.
Well, let me
burn
do
the
this.
one.
For 4, I'm going to do this also.
All right. So he has plus much attack.
Oh, because of all the tribesmen? All right. And then everybody gets plus 1 armor,
2,
by the way. All allies.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 attack. So he hits for 12. So he could actually just one shot the 8-bringer, I guess.
Yes. Well, he could,
So-
but he can't get across from him because of my stupid tower.
Yeah.
Which I,
This.
for no reason, played.
Yeah. It's why it's like the curse of towers. I feel like having more than one, it's just like.
I also was an idiot and put this guy in this lane. Like, well, first of all, I'm
Wait.
taking this guy away. He did his job.
Wait, can you move him here?
No, I just remove him.
Can you move him here? Oh wait, it's not destroyed though, so I don't get the benefit actually.
What do you mean?
He like for the bush dryad, I think it has to get destroyed and you're discarding it, so it doesn't count.
No, I'm not discarding it. If you want him here, so your bush dryad gets the tokens, fine. He'll just tank for us if we have nothing better.
Okay, so this guy's gonna go here. This lane will be empty, so they'll be here and here. So we're just gonna take 2 trample, or not 2 trample, 2 damage.
Well, here, I'll put him here too, right? For 2. Wait, did I ever pay the 4? I never paid the 4.
No.
Hold on. What did
You
I
did
just
pay
pay
the 4.
for? Oh, I did
You
pay
paid
the
4.
4. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. And then our castle gets +1 armor too.
Okay. I mean, I could just sack on Koltik, right? At this point,
What do you mean?
sacrifice for Koltik. He has like so
Kotlik?
much plus attack. He's hitting for. He has 8 tokens on him.
Well, but if you do that, then he won't. Remember, we still got to do this. He's still got to survive.
Removing
this and
3
kill him.
gets him 9 attack, or removing 4 gets him down to 8 attack. He has 12 attack right now.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying you don't care. All right, I'm spending 2 to put this guy in. Because why not? Or do you want me to give somebody +2 armor?
Sure. It doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just do the round.
Treachery.
Yes. So he gets +1 attack. All right. Oh, which just gets rid of his -1 attack. All right. So he does 5 to you.
Wait,
You
before that,
Oh, yeah.
sacrifice and -1 on the pillar.
Yes. So -1 health.
And I'll pay the mutagen as well.
So -1 health, -1 attack. Oh, gets rid of his +1 attack. And
So
then,
he's down to.
So you paid 1 to mutagen him. So he gets +1 attack, right?
Wait, why does he not have -2? They strike each other.
Oh, they did strike each other? Yeah, I asked.
Yeah. And non-epic monster in a lane and 1 midsummer strike each other.
Got it.
Yeah. So I can do it on Kotlik, but I'll just do it here. So I'll take all 3 tokens. I mutagened -3. Tower did -1. He's dead.
All right. And he dies immediately.
He dies immediately. Do you want to draw a card?
I do. Sure. All right. Okay.
So now Great White happens.
So he strikes you for 5. 1, 2, 3.
And then -2.
So you're still alive. Hey, Kotlik. Whoa, he's still alive. Yes.
And then he hits for a whopping 12 back.
Kills it. Go ahead and draw a card. Actually, you probably don't want to draw cards because you're going to deck.
Yeah.
You won't because all these minions are going to be engaged, by the way.
Yeah.
So we go to here, fight phase. So in strength order. So he has to come here. So we are fighting this lane. We never go back and fight this lane. So this one just sits here. This comes here. This comes here. Yeah, that's a little weird.
It's rules. It's just as written, man.
It is rules as written. So he hits for 2. My guy has no life. Oh, I do have an armor. 1. But I'm still dead. Oh, and Dryad gets tokens now.
Yep. I
give him
guess
life?
I will continue to survive because I only have to do 2 damage here, right?
Yep. So you take 2 damage. It takes 2 damage. It is dead. By the way, drawing a card is optional.
Yep, it is optional.
Just as a heads up. So I wouldn't have to draw a card here if it would kill me, but whatever.
Have you? Yeah.
So it strikes. It strikes again. The first one hits our armor. Second one hits our life. We're down to 4.
Survive the round. What'd you think?
I do 2 damage. I do 2 damage and kill the portal also, by the way. Or 3 damage, and I get to rebuild. Yay.
Nice. How in the epic proportions of that turn, how epic was that?
That was
compared
pretty
to most of
good.
your games?
Although, Terrence, this game took almost 2 hours. This is a 15-minute game to 30-minute game. This game took almost 2 hours, granted with explanation and stuff, but holy moly, you and I can talk about what we're going to do for a turn.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't math out that last turn, you lose, right?
Yes. But this game is normally much quicker playing. Obviously, co-op's going to take a little bit longer, but not much longer, typically. As long as you're not, discussing, and trying to explain to an audience what's going on.
Yeah, I think getting the 3 monsters we did was pretty challenging, actually, at the end.
Yes, very challenging. Yeah, if we could have done 2 more damage the round before. I mean, that's why I was so hell-bent on trying to get that last 2 damage in. Because then you bring 0 monsters out. It's a very different last round.
Yeah, I mean, I could have done it, but you actually took up the last slot with your tower, I think.
Yes. Well, no, because I did that after you went, by
Yeah.
the way. Because I what I should have done is the shield, get +2 shield, and then put the tower in my hand. I didn't care at the time. So I almost screwed us over by not caring at the time.
Yeah.
And made that last turn much more challenging. So no pillage would happen, by the way. You do the end of the round, but no pillage happens because all these minions are down here.
Success.
Now, interesting, though, about the minion part.
What
Would
minion
they have
part?
gone right back when they weren't engaged? If an ally leaves the lane during the alliance phase...
I think that's only during the lines phase.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because that's right. If he kills it, they don't go back till the end. There's even a step. Yep. Right here, under the pillage phase, minions return to the back line.
Yep.
All right. So, Terrence, you said you've never lost?
Nope. And I've continued that trend today.
Interesting.
I haven't played a ton of the pain difficulty, to be fair. Because I found, I found this one pretty good. Because I've had games like this before in solo, and they feel, it's like brain burning enough that I feel like it's actually a pretty good difficulty.
Right.
Especially once you mix the higher level horde cards in.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, because like there are different ones, and I don't feel like they're the same difficulty either. Oh, and the bosses too. Like the ancient one sounds awful. Every time they fight, they deal 3 damage to the castle. Like,
yeah,
you have to know
I feel
that
like this
from the beginning.
I feel like it's not too bad because usually my outsider doesn't stay around for very long.
Destroy the strongest ally.
Yep.
I mean, that
sucks.
With 8 life, that's no good. And can't be engaged by allies, so you can't even chump them either, unless they have at least 3 attack. Which, yep. I mean, look, we had a lot of stronger allies. That's not necessarily common. Like we had.
I'm surprised how long my bush dryad survived. Actually.
Yeah. No, that's.
I think I'm willing to trade stuff usually when I play the game. But I push pretty hard to clear actually the minions.
But you said this isn't a threat.
It's not. It's usually not.
So then why do you push to kill the minions?
Just to draw through my deck for card draw options.
Okay. See, I'm hit or miss. Like if a minion gets like this, I'm not pulling it. You know what I mean? Like for the most part, unless I have to just chump it for a turn.
The problem is if you leave them, then they get like this, and if you deal with them, then it's just like, oh, +3, it's another 3. Like 3 is very different from 6, right? So like the problem was we let it stack to.
We didn't let it stack. Remember, that was the one that got minions every time we killed something.
Yeah.
So it went from 1 to 6 in one turn. I'm pretty sure. Because it was like, give it 3, and then for every monster that dies this turn, give it another one. And we killed the outsider and another minion. So it's like, all right. Well, there you go. No. part of the reason the minions weren't as much of an issue. Like, we took the 2 factions that dealt with minions, and we still were down to 8 cards, and we still almost died, right? Like, the other factions
Wait,
don't...
what do you have that deals with minions?
Well, I don't deal with minions, but I rebuild. So, yes, we didn't
Oh.
need it because yours was full. Did you never get that 25 cost minion?
No, it got discarded, man. It's the problem with pillage.
Well, but I could have put it back in, but yes.
Like I
But-
said, I think rebuild's not that great of an ability unless you can shuffle your deck, which this deck has, but it only pertains to, I think, the Nupton faction.
Well, rebuild is great if you don't want to deal with the minions, right? It gives you the option to not deal with the minions if you have enough rebuild. I mean, at some point you got to deal with them, but
Yeah, I tend to like to deal with them when they're at 1 to 3 health. So I pull them down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If I have the space to. Like, obviously I'm not going to do it if it's going to cost me a lot, but
But honestly, I
mean,
prioritize, instead of killing, like, the turn before, I would have killed the tower instead of pulling that 2 minion down. Because all that killing that 2 minion did was put 1 more minion on here. So it basically saved us 1 card draw. You know what I mean? Like, I would have definitely killed the tower instead. That way we get the 0 draw going forward. You know what I mean? Instead of 3 draw that we got.
I've also never gotten to stage Portal 3.
You've never gone to Portal 3?
No.
See, I like Portal 3.
The outsider just doesn't live long enough for me to get to Portal 3. Like, the outsider's usually like two rounds for me.
You must, like, I don't know. I don't know what you do, because outsiders are tough, man. With their armor and everything else. Like, I don't know. I usually do not kill them right away. Now, one thing I guess I didn't realize is that giving them minus counters ignores armor. So I never really played around with that. But yeah,
that's like the best part about this faction, I think, is that they get minus counters.
Well, but red faction, doesn't it just put damage on stuff?
Damage goes to armor though.
Oh. Yeah, because it's got like weapons.
But you can definitely stack. Like, I've won with the Karumo, I guess is what the red is called, by just stacking stuff that is doing a ton of damage to the outsider.
Well, yeah, because they get weapons and stuff that give them heroic 3 as long as they have 1 damage.
Yeah.
They get +3 attack, +1 armor. Yeah, like they do a lot of heroic 2 as long as they have 1 or more.
I think these are the 2 of the best cards in this faction because of that. The
monster in the lane gets -2 and -2 health for the remainder of the turn. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like, you can just nuke, like, being able to nuke a monster and not having to fight it, and then have your fight go directly to the portal.
This monster is pretty ridiculous too, though. Behemoth costs 25, but 1 less for each card in your discard. So at the end of the game here, you had 22. It would cost 3. So 3/4 stat line's pretty good, but Mutiform 5 gets 5 plus counters. Yeah. So last game we played with my son, he had one of these. We Mutiformed him to almost all attack. And then I have a ally in this deck that blocks that takes damage for its neighbors and has like a ton of shielding. I forget where it is, or I don't know where it is.
I think he's the epic guy, and he's not in that.
Oh, he might be in the expansion.
He's the 3rd. He was the Kickstarter promo guy.
Got it. Which you can get by buying the expansion. And if you
you don't even get this if you don't buy the expansion.
Well, yeah, you don't get the yellow faction. That's right. So I would recommend getting it if you're going to buy into the game. It's the difference between $40 and $70, I think. To get a bunch more outsiders, a bunch more decks of monsters, and an entire another color. So yeah.
Yeah, the Scarifier person that I was sad when I lost him is also really good. Fits into this.
I guess I should be on our final thoughts screen here, Terence. Man, what is going on?
This guy, Scarifer. I lost both of mine, but to pillaging. But
yeah,
Destroy
Play.
an ally.
Yep. Non-epic monster, but it's non-epic, so you can't do the boss.
Yeah.
Are any of these other ones non-epic? Did we screw that up?
Nope. They both say monster.
Oh wow. I mean, look, I
Yeah.
like the option to be able to blow the boss up in other ways and not have to attack. I mean, you're building for that the whole game, right? It's not like it's a one turn.
Yeah, like I definitely planned that turn, right? It was just like, how do I generate? You have to have the counters, which isn't always easy to get. Like, yes, you have a
Right.
lot of options, but like
One,
it can be tricky.
the more minions that come out, the harder that becomes. Or not minions, but
Yeah,
enemies that are coming out. Like it's hard to
yeah,
keep counters on. I mean, honestly, I have a hard time keeping the board full in single player. Like I tend to not have the board full a lot. In fact, rarely do I even have one because you have so little mana at the beginning of the game. Like a lot of times, again, I find that I'll sacrifice a turn, letting them attack just to get rid of that first portal, even, and to keep a guy on the board just so I have stuff to have more options on my next turn. Like between two of us here, it seemed easy enough to keep people alive, but I don't find that the case at all most of the time I play.
I actually find it was somewhat harder because that one mana diff is like a huge. So you get 4 in Portal 1, in solo,
Yep.
and getting 4 mana opens the door for a lot more stuff of like how strong of cards you can play that you don't have to like save turn to turn.
But to be fair, we get
So,
6 mana as 2 players now. Obviously, 4 for 1 player makes a difference because you really open.
yeah,
Up
I'm
the
just saying
four
like
cards.
that definitely like changed like my hand of like what I normally would be able to play.
Sure.
Just going from solo to co-op. You also have to deal with more things in co-op too, so it's like,
Yes.
I think it is balanced well.
No, I agree.
But I do think the 6 lane part of it still, you definitely run into it more easily in co-op.
Well, I mean, I shouldn't have put this tower down. Obviously, like that was whatever. I was just
Well, it's like you're saying, you don't fill your lanes in solo as much.
no, not even close. Cool.
Um,
So, final thoughts. I mean, would you buy this again right now, knowing that there's expansions coming?
yeah, I think I would buy it again. My games don't normally take 2 hours, so it fits that niche of, I think, like pretty thinky gameplay. Um, yeah, I think my biggest, I think the gameplay is really good. Obviously, I think there's some stuff, the rulebook that they're fixing up, that they've already announced on their Kickstarter page and their updates. And yeah, just I feel like the biggest weakness for sure is the deck construction. Just like any of these games, like when it comes out, limited card pool just means you don't have kind of the options to really flex what the system like has available to it.
Right.
And that's just I think every one of these kind of games, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just different. Like I like all these constructed card games. I think each one you have to play enough to really understand. Like rules just are different of like what you want to do when you construct decks, and I think that's what's fun about each of these systems. It's like a whole new sandbox to play in.
And you'll have to
Um,
obviously increase difficulty as well if you're constructing, I feel like, because we're playing out of the box. Although I mean, here's the one thing: I don't feel like these decks are that weak out of the box. Like it's not like some of these other games where they're clearly just throwing cards in so you have cards. Like I feel like the synergies are pretty good. Like I feel like they did a good job making the factions pretty good by themselves, and almost maybe too good where you don't need to construct. Um,
yeah, they basically have like 2 themes in each deck by the tribes that you have. So like you kind of have 2 competing things that this 40 card deck is trying to do.
right.
Um, and so I think like being able to maybe pick a lane or short weaknesses is a thing that you're gonna get, right? Like out of kind of getting more cards to the table. One of the things they have said, for instance, is there was going to be a tower and stuff in the expansion on Discord that they were saying that allows you to build a non allied deck, which will be really neat to see.
Huh.
So a deck that's 100% spells,
Interesting.
and it's viable, right? Like you can win with it, so it's not just a troll deck.
Right.
Um,
So you control your.
so I mean, I think that shows like the flex. Like you see some of this in the Nupton faction a little bit, but I think like running this in solo, like it is actually kind of hard because it has the lowest ally count out of all the factions.
Sure.
And you are really relying on. I feel like every time I won Nupton, it has been because I've gotten like the circle of Mentalist Tower or whatever that does 10 damage to the outsider.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so I think there's a lot of potential in this game. And it's I think an easy recommend for the price point.
Right.
But
and games
yeah,
should be 20 to 30 minutes. Even when I played my son the other day, it was 30 or 40 minutes his first game ever playing.
Everything's always faster with physical too.
With what? Like, physical? Yeah.
Physical, because the setup actually isn't like super arduous. Like, I think just doing stuff on TTS for like there are a lot of tokens in this game.
Yes.
So I think that is like significantly faster in person.
Well, and of course in person you're not like, let me add 2 tokens. Okay, now it's reaches health. Now let's destroy it. So I'm doing all of that partially because it's a learning game, right? Like I think in a future game we wouldn't have to do all the maneuvering. But yeah, TTS takes a little bit longer. Certainly we tend to take longer just in general, I feel like, you and I. Plus it's a teaching game, so we had to go through every step because it's our first time playing. So, yeah, but it's good. I mean, I find it good, and I find it very fast compared to games like Marvel Champions, which is one of my favorite games. Certainly Marvel Champions solo is pretty quick, but this is even faster than that. So, yeah, no, I high recommend for me for when I'm in the mood to play something like Marvel Champions, but don't necessarily have the time.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly you don't have the breadth of options you have in Marvel Champions, of course, but it's enough for me for now, at least, anyway.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see how much in the co-op. I mean, this is one of my first co-op games since since it's like been released since the Kickstarter.
Yep.
I'm curious to see how much gets leaned into the interaction. Obviously, you talk about stuff like where you put lanes and stuff that's inherent in this game that maybe doesn't exist in other games, but how much stuff is restricted to just like your
right.
deck? Like there are definitely some of those, right? It's like discard a card, an ally from your hand, return a card from your discard pile versus like stuff that actually allows more interaction, because I think that's a fine line they're going to have to walk, because clearly like certain things are balanced and built in a faction to work that way.
Yep.
And then obviously the interaction can definitely like break that open, which maybe it's just hard to balance well.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, we were planning on playing Ashes today, but that's not going to happen. It's Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. We will play Friday. Does that work for you, Terence?
Yeah, I can play on Friday.
Our normal Friday spot. Instead of doing Marvel Champions, we'll do Ashes Reborn this week.
Yeah, sounds good. I think I'm traveling the week after. So
okay.
I don't know how much deck construction stuff you're doing before the con, but
oh, you know me, tons, Terence, tons of deck construction. All right, but I'm gonna let everybody go. This can all be offline discussion, but yes. So come back Friday is all I was trying to figure out, and watch us play Ashes Reborn. And thanks for joining us, everybody. Bye.